Welcome to Grey County Life at Home. We are your hosts, Rhonda Brown
and Mary Jane Murray.
Oh my gosh, after a very long hiatus from this studio, we are back in place. I can't believe it. I had to say goodbye to Charlie Brown this morning.
Oh.
It was dreadful. It was dreadful. There were a lot of tears and teeth grinding and that sort of thing, but he let me go. It was my teeth and my tears because, oh my gosh, we have to get dressed and actually go out into the world this morning. This is a little different, isn't it?
It is different, but you know, it's lovely to be back in the studio and to be able to see our guests live and be able to really communicate again. Yeah. And I think that's what's so special about our community is the community engagement and the wonderful folks that really hold our community together. But isn't this lovely to come back to a nice cozy fireplace and it's fall and it's back in our usual spots in the studio.
Yeah, I would like to put a shout out to the late Darlene Venwick.
Yes.
Because she is not with us today in studio, and she was here when we were here before, and she will be greatly missed and honored. Yeah,
well,
always.
Not only that, she took such good care of us. I mean, this morning I have to get mic'd up. How do I do this?
Like, where do we go? Where do we sit? What do we do? Yeah, it's a little different, that's for sure. And it's funny, you know, like you say, we're all getting back into the swing of things and interacting with each other. The kids went to school this week. Everybody knows how much I love that first day of school. Yes. I like to call it my me day, but it didn't work out so well this year with some work stuff. But yeah, the kids are back in school, like you say. Watch out for kids on the street. Stop for the school buses. And I believe I saw something new too. They've got an amber light now.
Yes.
As a heads up, we're slowing down. And the red light as in we are stopped. So.
And it's not negotiable.
It is non-negotiable.
That's right.
As Emerson, who's been driving lately, yes, he's got his G1, I guess, and when we're heading towards a yellow light and I'm saying, ooh, slow down, and he's saying, Mom, you don't have to stop for a yellow light. I'm like, oh my God, yes you do, I don't care about anybody else. Yes, but with the buses, stop and look.
And with the back to school, then all the organizations in our community come to life again. And, you know, for people who are interested in being engaged in the community, it's time to just check with social media or the radio, the newspaper, and find out what's going on in our community and start becoming engaged again.
Well, and gee whiz, I mean, we've been engaged all summer between Summer Folk and Salmon Spectacular, which was a huge success. Yay for Chris Gilbert and all the guys that put that together, the amazing team that they have, and the Summer Folk. I mean, it is awfully nice to have things kind of back in swing. You can certainly be as busy as you like in Grey County and Bruce, or not, which is kind of nice.
Well, of course, we're ramping up for election season. And so, you know, that's a busy time of year, particularly for the candidates who are out there door knocking and talking to people and encouraging people to come out and vote. And it's a little bit different this year from the sense that it's voting by phone and voting online, and not everyone has a computer. And it's different from an actual location and a ballot drop.
Yeah.
So a lot of organizations, like the libraries, and many other locations, are helping people to vote, because we don't want people to stop voting because they don't know how. Yep. It's really important to exercise your voice and to vote.
It's extremely important. I mean, it's your right in our communities. And I just was saying, I got this in the mail today. Owen Sound Election 2022. You can vote anytime, anywhere. So touch tone phone, tablet, smartphone, computer. And if you don't know how to do it, ask. Somebody will help. And there are, like you say, there's going to be lots of places that will provide an opportunity, even at the mall, which is indoors, whether it's raining or not. If you can't get to a computer at home, you know, or if you're confused about it, there are places where you can go. So yeah, and there's lots of time, because when do we vote? October? It's in October, right?
I think it's the 24th.
Yes, I believe so.
But
which
it starts
is like the
earlier.
Yes.
You have several days.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, because I was thinking if you're away, it's kind of handy that you can vote online. That is kind of handy for some people. So, you know, and you don't have to schedule a time to go into a place, which is nice. Yeah. We've got 2 minutes left of our first opening show on Grey County Life. Oh my gosh. It's been an interesting couple of years doing it from home and doing it from Zoom and Skype for a little bit. It's been a lot of fun, but it does feel a little more professional.
Well, this is cozy too. But what I particularly enjoyed this morning as the guests were coming into the studio is all the laughter. Yeah. And I mean, you're funny, but
looks on everything. Thank you. Okay.
That it's nice to have that one-to-one interaction or face-to-face interaction with folks, and the fact that the guests now get to talk to each other as opposed to just being introduced individually through Zoom or Skype, and now they get the opportunity to chat with each other as well. Yeah. And we're maintaining the format. The first 8 minutes are you and I, and catching up and featuring highlights in our community. And then we have 2 segments that are 18 minutes long, so that our guests really have an in-depth conversation and we really get to understand what's the event or what's happening. Yeah. And then, of course, at the very end, our adorable Adoptables.
With Renee. We can't wait to see who she brings on the show today. We haven't been live with animals for quite some time. So it's going to be a fun show. Make sure you stay tuned to Grey County Life, not at home anymore.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Raven Reads. Unbox Indigenous voices. Subscribe today at ravenreads.org.
I started playing softball when I was 4 years old. I loved it because it was all about having fun with my friends. And it still is.
From little kids to adults to seniors, softball is a sport for everyone. Join us.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888 Taxi Guy or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Hello everyone, your host Antoine Hashim here on the couch, and welcome to season 8. Yay! 8 seasons, and we've got a lot of awesome guests coming up, so keep watching.
Welcome back to Grey County Life, not at home. It's going to take some getting used to not saying that anymore, even if we are sitting in the studio. I'm one of your hosts, Rhonda Brown, and the always wonderful
Oh, Mary Jane Murray. Here we are. We have our guests live, and it's just such a pleasure to see Diane Austin, the CEO from the Owen Sound and District Chamber of Commerce, and Tiffany James, who is the social events and media coordinator for the Chamber. And it's such a pleasure to see you, and we had so much fun in the green room, which is really red. Yeah. But, so the Chamber has always been active over the past 2.5 years, and of course, everything has sort of looked different. But can you just tell us what is so important about having a Chamber of Commerce in our community?
Sure.
Do you want to take that?
Well, that begs to differ. I don't know who talks more. We are beneficial because we're here to support the business community. Whether you're new entrepreneur in the area wanting to start a business and not even knowing where to start, the Chamber is where you would come to answer those questions. So we're here to help you with payroll questions, with human resources questions, just running a business. Where your guidance. Yes, because we have that as being a part of a Chamber of Commerce. We have like the local chamber within a local chamber network, and then we have the Ontario Chamber at our disposal as well. So we're here to help support local businesses, and that's what we do.
Once you become a member, you're also a member of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. So you could go anywhere, any questions right from, municipal to provincial and then to, federal, anything to do with the Chambers of Commerce, you have that in, or any questions or concerns. And a lot of people don't know that, which I find interesting.
Well, no, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
But I do believe that the chambers, this global chamber effort, is also involved in advocacy.
Absolutely. Sorry. And we get notifications from all of both the chambers saying that you should pass this along because we spoke to the Prime Minister, or we spoke to the Minister of Health, or we spoke to Tourism and Culture. And this is what we asked, these are the questions we asked. And what are you going to do about it? And Tiffany will e-post those, e-blast them out to all our members and say, this is what just came from the governments for information.
And FYI.
And FYI.
Because we have the direct voice to those ministers within the government.
Yeah.
So it's like lobbying for rights of business owners and small businesses.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I did not know when I first started at the Chamber, how important that the Ontario Chamber was, because we meet every Wednesday morning on a Zoom still, and they bring their concerns or issues. That's how we found out about the RAS kits.
The rapid testing
The
kits.
rapid testing
yes.
kits.
Right.
That's how we found out about that and joined that collaboration so that we could bring it to the businesses and say, here, this is what we do.
For free, so
For
that
free.
they could test during that pandemic, so that they could stay open and be able to test their employees and make sure that it was a safe environment. That all came down from that chamber network. So, it's a great part to be a part of. So once you become a member of your local chamber, then you become part of that huge network as well.
Yeah, it's not just Owen Sound, it's Canada-wide.
Yeah. Would there be a place where a new starting out business would go to find out about grants that would be available for new business?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. We currently, right now, Grey County is offering a digital grant for businesses that wanting to start e-commerce. We can guide you in that direction.
Well,
We
and
have that.
e-commerce, I am not technical or jargon savvy, I should say. Yeah, what
It's
is
for
e-commerce?
a brick and mortar, so when you walk in the door, they can also take all of that product and put it online. So their shop now becomes an e-commerce shop.
Okay, which is through the pandemic, if you weren't able to spin and pivot, as we were saying, you'd miss the boat. So the people that were able to do that quickly really made the best out of a very difficult situation.
Yeah.
And it's not just e-commerce. There's a lot of different grants that are offered for the businesses.
Oh yeah, that was just one example.
It's just one of many that we get almost weekly.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Wow.
Yeah, even not for profit.
But you also host events, and I know that you have your Business Excellent Awards that's coming up. And you and I were chatting in the green-red room over there about who can vote for the businesses. So tell us more about this process.
So we just concluded our nomination portion for the Business Excellence Awards. For those that don't know what it is, the Chamber acknowledges local businesses every year. And this year we're doing 13 different categories because we just added agriculture. And so we...
Good idea in our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we are Owen Sound and district, and our district is a lot of agriculture. So yeah, we just opened up that category. So we just concluded the nominations. Nominations ended August 31st. So now we've opened up the voting. So all the businesses that were nominated in those 13 categories that we are listed on our website, it's open to vote for the public. So that's different just within the past 2 years that we've done that. Before, we've asked businesses that were nominated to submit an essay on why they thought they were excellent. This time we realize how busy business owners are. So we've opened it up to the public in nomination-wise and as for voting. So go ahead.
And what's better with that is it's peer then.
Yeah.
Then to me, that's accolades to that business or those businesses that were nominated, because then they know that the public and other businesses appreciate what you do.
Yep.
Like, it's different because when we did the actual nominations before and they had to write essays, we didn't look at them. We sent them to Orangeville.
Yeah, we sent them to a separate chamber within the network, and they were voted that way.
Yes, but
Gotta
they
say-
didn't know our businesses.
No, and that, I mean, to me, being, not great with essays and things in high school and university, seemed like it was a punishment for getting nominated.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
oh, you got nominated, now you have to write an essay.
Yeah.
This
This
seems so much more
easier.
exciting too for the community.
Very
Yeah.
user-friendly, which to me is important. It's just a click of a button.
You just go right to the chamber website, www.oschamber.com, and there's an announcement that pops up that says vote for your favorite local business. You click on that, all the categories are listed. You can vote as many times as you want in as many different categories. And we encourage the voting is a short period of time. It's only open for 2 weeks. So it's just opened yesterday. So you have to get it, so it's yesterday as in September 6th.
Yes.
So you have to get out and get voting now to make sure that your favorite business gets nominated.
And what I
gets
think
the
is
votes.
cool, Tiffany, is that there's only 3 of us who know who the winners are for that evening. Only 3 of us.
Oh,
and that would
wow.
be Tiffany and myself and the person who made the plaques,
The trophies.
the trophies.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. So it's great to see the faces, even from our board or even, the businesses that come.
Oh, you're segueing into the awards gala.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm doing this
Done,
on
done.
purpose.
So after nominations close, we do have an event that we celebrate all the businesses that were nominated. This year we're holding it October 20th at the Best Western, and it's Mardi Gras theme. So we are very excited. We're having a brass band play, and there'll be masks and beads, and our title sponsor is Troy Life and Fire Safety in town, and our reception sponsor is Popeye's Chicken. So Louisiana chicken for the Mardi Gras. Yeah. So we're really excited. You can get tickets for that event on the Chamber website as well.
Yes, you can.
And we encourage all the businesses that were nominated to come, because you don't know who wins. It's like an Oscar night.
Yeah.
It's a surprise to everyone in the room when we open that envelope.
Yeah.
So
That is awesome.
it's
We
fun.
invite everyone to come.
We do.
I was going to say, can members of the public buy tickets for this gala?
Absolutely.
We would encourage that, because then that just proves to the businesses, this is nice. It's not just business to business, but it's the community coming as a whole.
And celebrating the businesses. 'Cause
Yes.
your local businesses do a lot for the community.
Yes, they
and
do.
I think during the pandemic, people did tend to realize that. Your son's soccer team. Us personally as a not-for-profit with the Chamber, we turn to our local businesses a lot in helping us with our fundraising efforts. So this is a way for us to acknowledge them as well.
I found it quite interesting yesterday morning. I was on a little bit of a talk show, and one of the questions that was asked to Lois Taylor was, is it true that businesses downtown get asked about 300 times a year for donations and support for the community? And most of them, almost all of them are right on board and helping out that community, which from the Chamber's perspective, I think that's amazing, you know, that they're supporting each other and their businesses.
They are a backbone of the community,
They
the
are.
local businesses, and this
Absolutely.
is our way of acknowledging them.
Yeah.
I'm quite proud of our community.
So am I.
I really am.
Well, I am, as everyone knows, I'm going to say it again, I am a die-hard shop local.
Yep.
And it's really important because when our businesses support the teams or support some of the organizations that were particularly struggling through the pandemic, and when people just stepped up, it is our responsibility to go and shop in those stores. And sometimes I may not be able to purchase something, but I always make a comment to the shop owners or who's ever the staff that are there. I love your display. This is such a fabulous store. And I may not be able to spend money in the store at that particular time, but I think it's really important to give them the feedback on how hard they've worked to make their store so attractive.
Absolutely.
One step up from that you can do actually when you leave is pull up that store on Google on your phone and leave that nice pleasant review as well.
Yes.
That will very much help too.
That's part of what Tiffany does too with her social media.
That is a huge thing. Or even just go to their social media page, so their Facebook page or their Instagram account, and said, I was in here today and their displays are beautiful. Just that, you would be surprised how much just that simple thumbs up or just the comment alone will really help a local business.
There are occasions when I've posted something on Facebook, I've had really good customer service in this particular location, and then I put it on Facebook too, because I know Facebook is kind of weaning out, but I'm an old gal, you know, and that's my comfort zone.
Me too.
But
Hey, every little bit helps.
I think supporting. And so, how many people are you hoping to get out to your gala? Because it just sounds like so much fun.
We have room for 120 guests at our venue, so we're hoping to sell out because, you know, what would be better to celebrate all these businesses than a room full of people to acknowledge them.
Because that's all the venue can hold at that point.
And
Because we've got the
venue-
band and Best Western,
Best Western
and
on
the
the Bay.
base.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is
Well, you
nice.
have to tell people where it's going to be.
Oh, of course, yes.
October 20th.
October 20th at Best Western and on the Bay.
I think we're taking that whole wing over. I think we are, yes. And I love it. It's my favorite event.
It's so nice to be able to celebrate businesses. And this is the first time we're having it in person again for the for the 2.5 years. So last year we actually hosted it here and we had it we recorded the ceremony at Rogers. So this year's the first time we're going to actually be able to do a gala and have dinner, and we can sit and just all be in a room together to celebrate together.
A couple of years ago, we actually had it at the Roxy.
Yes.
Yes.
Mary Jane and I were there.
Yes, we did our red carpet interview.
We did. That was a blast.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun. But the MC for the evening is coming back. For that evening is coming back and doing it. And it's also his band he's bringing. And it's a brass band and playing Mardi Gras music.
Very cool. Well,
Yes.
I mean, I know I haven't been able to ever get down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, so this is like, to me, the even better.
Yeah.
There's no traveling.
No traveling.
I can just do it in my
It'll be a
backyard.
little bit tamer.
Yeah.
I was
apparently you
gonna
get
ask
beads.
whether or not, if we're gonna be sharing beads and stuff, and I'm thinking, I
There
don't
is a
think I'm
dress
gonna buy
code.
into that. Good.
Unless it's just the men, we'll be fine.
Yes, we can give
Just
all
kidding.
of our beads to the guys. Yeah.
And is it dress up? Like Mardi Gras always has lots of color and pizzazz to it.
I would love that. If you want to dress up, please by all means dress up.
We encourage
We
it.
encourage
It
it.
is a gala. It is after a work day, so we do understand that some people are coming right from work. So we don't, there's no, we just
But
ask
you'll
that you do
have-
wear clothes. We know when we say Mardi Gras, some people get a little excited.
Yeah.
Diane.
Guess who? Just a little.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, beads are going to be at your, handed out at the registration.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll have masks
Those
on
special
the
little
table.
masks that they all love with the feathers and the, guess who I am sort of thing. Yeah. No, it'll just be fun.
And for so long we were wearing masks that covered this part of our face.
Yes.
Now we get to wear masks that cover this part of our face.
You get to see everyone's smiles.
I never thought of that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, or some people may wear both.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it doesn't
right.
matter, your
Yep.
comfort zone.
Well, we
It's whatever
didn't
people are
get to
comfortable
wear feathers with our protective masks,
I
but we'll
know.
get to wear feathers here. Okay.
Oh, I know.
Our Chamber of Commerce, how many members do we have?
Right now, 400 members.
400,
My,
wow.
I would love to have more,
Yep.
because a lot of people don't know what our relevance is. And we're just trying, we have so many different options that we could promote. We have an affinity program that's about benefits, and it's about you go to an optometrist and Pure Later, anything like that, where they offer discounts for the members.
For package delivery, and we have gas discounts with
Yes.
ESSO if you're a member.
Yeah.
We also have marketing within the chamber itself, local marketing. We have an email blast that goes out to our subscriber list, which is over 1,500 people
Yes.
that we offer up to the membership. It's a weekly Inside Scoop e-blast where they can list any events that they're having or any sales currently going on in the store that we offer up to them. Any member that is part of the chamber, we encourage to host a workshop to let people know within the membership what their business is about. There's just a lot of benefits to your local Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
but we encourage, what we say is the chamber works if you work it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Same as
we're-
anything.
Yeah.
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 If you're successful, we're
We're
successful.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And that was our whole focus, is being on the chamber when I first came on board and brought, Tiffany and some. We have 5 employees now,
Oh.
which we've grown.
Yeah, we've
Yes.
grown. During a pandemic, that's quite a feat, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
But we're all member focused. Yes, we'll throw in a little bit of advocacy if there's a concern, and we have heard from downtown and different things, but we're not finger pointing. We
Yeah.
are here to work together collegially, and I think that, to me, that's important. Our members are important.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
what I have found with local businesses, if they don't have what I'm looking for, they'll tell me
Yes.
where I could find it. And you sort of think, well, that's super. I'm going to try that out, and that works.
Yep.
But what anchors in your mind was the really good customer service you
Yes.
got the first time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of member within member promoting within the chamber, which is nice. So if you have an area that you're looking for that you need to do, that member might not be able to provide it for you, but like you said, they will guide you to someone else within the membership, and that's nice.
Well, Tiffany and Diane, thank you so much for being the first guest back on Grey County Live in studio. We are so pleased that you came out today to talk about the chamber, and we're looking forward to the Mardi Gras celebration.
Thank you.
October 20th.
October 20th, down at the Best Western. Sounds like the place to be on that day for sure.
Thank you. It was our honor
Yeah,
to
it
be
was a
here
pleasure
today.
to be here. Thank
It
you.
was our honor. Thank you. Good.
Well, we're just going to slip in that.
Oh, we're gone.
Ani, I'm Carolyn King, and I'm a member of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the creator of the Moccasin Identifier. Philip Cote, an artist in Toronto here, took and redrew real moccasins. We're starting over with the children. The idea is that they would research whose land their school is built on, near, or what treaty area they're in. And the educational kit that we have has all that information in there. And the children just, love it. My dream is that this province will be covered with moccasin identifiers within the next decade, and they will forever know whose land they're on. That's the goal. Educate and awareness with a nice, simple little program called the Moccasin Identifier.
Don't forget to tune in to Grey County Life on Rogers TV.
Next week, we're going to have a singer-musician, Morgan X. Berry. Join us.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Welcome back to Grey County Life in Studio. We're your hosts, Rhonda Brown and
Mary Jane Murray.
Yeah, we're getting used to the routine again. So yeah, I think we got cut off a little bit before the commercial break, but don't worry, we will get into our groove as quick as we can.
Well, we have the help of our really great cameramen back on the scene.
Yes.
Ken and John, and they're keeping us on track. They're doing the best they can with what they have to work with. So we want to give a shout out to them too, and it's lovely to see our cameramen back in the studio again. It's been such a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
And we are welcoming our second guest of our new season in the studio, and of course we have the lovely Jan Chamberlain, who's I've known for years and years and years, and it's such a dear to see you again. And we have Michael Craig as well, as the first time that we have met. But the two of you, now Jan always has something up her sleeve. Like, she's the busiest person I have ever met. And when I'm sitting at home thinking about I should do more, I think of Jan and how much she does. But true. Jan and Michael are the driving force for a new organization that's called Rebound, Owen Sound. And for many of our viewers, they may not have even realized that it is up and running and the work that you're doing. So Jan, start us off and tell us about Rebound and how it all got started.
Well, I will tell you that because I thought it would be nice to know that I am second on this step. This all started because of Michael's idea, and I think people do know that I have worked a lot in tourism and making things better, and I'd been on council, and I went to a meeting because I heard that there was this new group of people. They were called Friends of Owen Sound at the time, and that they wanted to make sure that people knew about who was going to be getting elected to the council. And I thought, well, I should go to this. So Michael, tell them a little bit about your background and why you started this, because that's what I found out when I went to the second meeting.
Right, of course. Well, I'm one of the many thousands of people who have made Owen Sound their home in recent years. In my case, it was 2014, and I came from Toronto, bad old Toronto. But I love this city very deeply. And I think it has great potential and is moving forward as best it can. But council, I have felt for quite some time, is having trouble coming to grips with some of the serious problems that Owen Sound faces. I could go on and on about the issues, but let me just name three that are central to our campaign, to our group here. We're concerned about social justice and social issues like homelessness, poverty, addictions, mental health issues that are increasingly seen in our downtown. We see the people who are struggling in their lives. And we're very concerned that there's not enough attention to their problems and the need to help them find their way. Housing is a problem for everybody right throughout Ontario, and it is a municipal issue as much as a provincial or federal issue, and we need more initiative, more energy there. And thirdly, the biggest elephant in the whole room of the whole world is climate change. And we would like our city council to be more active, more engaged with those issues, looking for ways that the city can reduce its carbon footprint and reduce the impact of climate change. So that's three issues that are central. what they all have in common is that they require collaboration with other levels of government. They require the city to put pressure on the province or on Grey County to get funding to deal with some of these issues of homelessness and climate change and what have you. So we would like to see a city council that is what we would call agents of change. They're looking to make a difference and not just pushing the problems away and saying that's the province's job, that's Grey County's job.
So you can see when I went to the second meeting and heard Michael speak that it didn't take me long to think, well, I'd like to be involved with this. So at the end of that meeting, Michael asked for a group of people to help him to go forward, to be kind of like the steering committee. And then he also said he'd really like to have a co-chair. So that's kind of how it started. And it was a lot of fun meeting with the group that decided to come through as to be our core group. And we've kind of had to come up with where we're going. And what we wanted to do, it was still time for people to be nominated to run for council. And so we sort of joined up and looked at what Elect Her had done, and we really pushed on that. And Michael had a very good connection with Peggy Nash from his background in Toronto in his social justice things. And she offered to come and be our speaker for the very first meeting that I was the co-chair of. And it was actually, we hold our meetings at the Harmony Center, and we got quite a wonderful crowd out. And it was an amazing evening of talking about how good it would be for women to be on council. And the questions from the audience really have steered to where we're going next, which is we're working on having a panel and having people talk about the issues that Michael just described. So I've been involved at that level. But go ahead, you can ask us what you'd like.
I was just going to mention that today is September the 7th,
Yes.
and we're filming our very first program, but it isn't going to air until next Monday. But still tell us about what's happening tonight on September 7th.
Okay, well, we are, Michael, we've got a brochure up calling it the named three crises facing the city.
Right.
And we have a panel, and I've actually taken charge of this meeting because the women that are on the panel are all people that I really think can give a quick 10-minute thing. Like these are some things we could maybe do. And on the housing is Carol Merton, who, as you know, on council, she put forward a plan about having a housing task force for the city. That got defeated, but I think she'll talk about that again. And then we have Francesca Dobbin from the United Way, and as she says, people just don't have enough money now. With the way the prices have gone up for the rent and for food, we have a real crisis in that area, and she'll be talking on that issue. And then we have Liz Zetlin, who has really championed the whole thing with climate change. Has done amazing work with that and on sustainability. So they'll all speak this evening, and then we're going to open it up. And the same as our evening with Peggy Nash, they can come to the microphone and ask a question, and we hope it's a question that our panel have some thoughts on, or other people in the room may have some thoughts on. So this will be a big community dialogue, and the whole goal is to get people really excited about going and voting this year, and knowing how to vote, and how that'll be the piece. You want to add to that, Michael? Yeah.
I was thinking that what we're doing with this meeting tonight, with having the panelists speak only for 10 minutes, then the rest of it will be thrown out to the audience to ask questions and make their own comments. That, in a sense, is what we would like to see City Council do more of, i.e. listen to the people. Engage the people on task forces or on public meetings where the people who are most impacted, including the homeless, can have their say. We really felt that was necessary. We could easily have had a panel discussion of 25 minutes times 3 and then 5 minutes at the end, but no, we're mostly leaving this for the people who are impacted to speak to their concerns.
This is how you engage community. This is how you start people thinking about issues. And when you hear different points of view, I think that is really essential, because this piece of information may not work in its entirety, but if you add this piece over here from this person, okay, so maybe we can meet in the middle and actually form a solution to this. So when you have folks that are totally engaged in this, these are the folks who are going to be going out and voting.
So true. And we would not like to suggest to people that Rebound Owen Sound has all the answers.
Oh, no.
Far from it. What we want is for the questions to be asked and for the council to engage with those questions and engage with the people in finding the answers.
So, sorry if I can interrupt. I'm just trying to figure out, so what is Rebound, and are you advocating for certain people to get elected, or you're just hoping to get some more conversation out there to spark change?
Well, you've got a good little metaphor going with your hands there. What we're really trying to do is stir the pot.
Yeah, that's well done.
And find out what comes up out of it. But
well, we've invited all of the candidates for the Owen Sound election that's coming up in October 24th, but opens on October 14th for a 10-day, knowing that it is not a ballot this year, and we'd like to make sure that we help engage people to understand that the voting is different. I mean, it was this way at the last election as well. It's one of the things that's happening. You have to vote online or by telephone. There'll be lots more information coming out from the city on that, but right up until the end of August, people were supposed to be checking and make sure they were on the voters list, and a lot of people were having trouble because of the computer piece. I too was one of the ones, and what I found out when I went into City Hall is there was a little drop box, because my address is one of those ones with an A or an E or something beside it. So it was not as easy for some people. And the library has been amazing too, helping people get on the voters list. But now people, if they're still not sure if you're on the voters list, you do have to go to the city, and they do have a help person there to make sure that happens. Because then once you are on the voters list, you get something emailed to you for the election. And we're waiting for more information on that too, but it is interesting. It's quite a different kind.
My goodness.
Yeah.
One person at the City Hall to help people who are not on the voters list out of how many voters? Seems like that's going to be a busy job.
Might be a busy job.
Yeah.
Well, check that one out.
Yeah.
let me try to answer Rhonda's question though as well, because the most direct and simple way was, are we advocating for certain candidates? And the answer is not literally, not at this point. What we're advocating for is for voters to select people who will consider themselves to be agents of change. And what does that mean? That we need councillors who will step up and try to address some of these serious issues. Oops, sorry. This never happens to me.
But it does happen to the best of us.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So sorry.
that's
Usually,
okay.
I'm much better
and
at
you
this.
know what? I just remembered I didn't turn my phone off either. I forgot.
Right. Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is we hope that the voters will look critically at the 13 people who are running for council, and not to mention the 2 for deputy mayor and the 2 for mayor, and choose people who are anxious to address some of these issues that we have identified to become agents of change. So we're looking for people who want to make a difference.
And you're also trying to engage folks to actually raise the issues of what are
important
crisis points in our community, like housing, like mental health. And there was climate change.
Yeah.
And so, but we actually have in our community, we have experts in all of those areas because of the committees that have been working for years on trying to alleviate some of the crisis, deal with the crisis, and they all have strategies. You have 3 champions coming on for your event tonight. Do you have other events that are coming up?
We do indeed. October 12th, also at Harmony Center at 7 p.m. That's a Wednesday, October 12th. We're having an all-candidates meeting.
Okay.
And all of these issues will be aired, and the candidates will have their say.
And I think you were saying that everybody's been invited.
Yes, yes, we have invited. That, you know, there's not a mandatory thing.
Right.
So we'll see who comes, but it's all part of the learning piece and the education piece. So.
Well, you might actually see who is more engaged in the community and who is not. And I think that I always feel that people who run for office come with really good hearts.
Yes.
They really come with an agenda that says, I want to work for to better my community.
Well, and I think that one of the reasons I'm co-chairing and have a bit of background, because I did have my 4 years on Owen Sound City Council, and I would never want to deny anyone that opportunity. It's a wonderful thing. It was quite an education, and it has changed a lot of my thinking. And I got to be on different boards at the time. I got to be on the nonprofit Housing for Owen Sound. I'm still on that. That's how housing and the Council on Aging and all those issues all came to me through my work at Council. And the other situation, I was on the library board. Mary Jane went to your Bridges Out of Poverty information things. It's changed everything about me. So I would like to have other people have a wonderful experience on Owen Sound Council.
And it's really interesting to me the way you have phrased that it's a wonderful experience.
Yes.
And I think it is. But to me, I would be terrified.
Well, I was. I have to tell you, the cutest thing that happened to me was everybody said, oh, you'll get so many phone calls. The very first week after I was elected, I did get a phone call from a very angry person who told me that what was I going to do about the dogs at the dog park? They were fighting. And I didn't know what to do. And then he started to laugh. And I realized it was my neighbor teasing me. And that was probably the only shock I ever got on the council. And that because it was such all the tours of the different businesses and the business people and how our whole community works. We really live in a wonderful place. And I've lived here all my life. So I don't want to move. I just want to keep making it better.
1 minute.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us today and letting us know about Rebound. If you have questions, we will put something on the screen, I'm hoping.
Yes, we have
Rebound
reboundowensound.ca.
Fantastic. Reboundowensound.ca. And on October the 12th, get out to the all candidates meeting if you want to hear what people have to say about these crisis issues here in Owen Sound. We'll be back.
Focus better.
Partner better.
Sleep better.
Breathe better.
Love better. Work better. Friend better. Unwind better.
Everything gets better when you get active.
Your mouth can do a lot of amazing things. And your mouth can save a life.
Hi, I'm Tom Wong. I'm just one of close to 1,000 Canadians in search of a stem cell match. We need your help.
A simple swab is all you need to register on the National Stem Cell Database. You could be the one to save a life. Find the hero in you.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Welcome back to Grey County Life in Studio. We are here for one of our most favorite segments, wrong word. Adorable Adoptables with Renee. Oh my goodness, yeah. It's been a long time, Renee. It's been a long time. We are so happy to see who is this guy.
I forgot how fun it was traveling here with the dog on my lap, trying to get here on time. I mean, it was great. It's really good to be back. I mean, I'm covered in dog slobber and drool and everything else, but it's good to be back. This is my friend Rocky, and Rocky has been at the shelter not a very long time, only a few days, but he's a senior citizen. Not on his last leg senior citizen, by no means at all is he near at the end of his life. He is a 6-year-old, almost 7-year-old neutered male beagle. The reason I threw that piece in, I don't want anybody to think that he's in urgent danger or that their vet bills are going to be huge or anything like that. Beyond his need to lose a little bit of weight, he is completely healthy and completely fine. And to be honest, a 6-year-old dog in many ways is a lot easier than a younger one, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah,
right.
I would say.
His training, hi, thank you for that. His training is already done. His house training especially, which we all enjoy doing so very much, has been taken care of. He is good on a leash. He comes when he's called most of the time. He is good with other animals, and he's good with children. So all of those things have already been taken care of, which is the advantage of adopting somebody who's a little bit older. Also, his vetting is done. Hey, for a bonus of that, he's neutered. He's got his vaccines. We've boosted them. He's been dewormed and defleed. Basically, this is your perfect little buddy.
Oh, he's so beautiful.
He is a beautiful dog.
Definitely a love bug.
Beautiful.
He definitely is. The only negative thing about him, and it's not really all that bad, that if you have cats, he's going to chase them because it's really fun for him. He is a cat chaser, and that is how he ended up with us. His original home could no longer care for him. They placed him in a home with cats, and he thought it was really fun to chase them. And the poor cats were not having their best life, so he's ended up with us. So we have to stress that, because we really don't want to see him go out to yet another home and then come back because he chased cats, right?
Yeah.
It's not your fault. They were fun. Do you want to come over here? That is better for me. You were heavy. No, can you just, there we are.
There you go.
There you go. That's better. That's better. Yeah, it's a good boy. He is, as I said, great on a leash, but he is a beagle, so he's going to have his nose to the ground. He's going to be checking stuff out. You have to have a little bit of patience for that. He's not going to heal entirely. He wants to do stuff, but beyond that, so what? Right?
Yeah.
Beyond that, so what?
Yeah, listen, Charlie doesn't heal entirely either, and I still love him to death.
None of them really do entirely when they got stuff to do. That's for sure. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's a good boy.
So how did you manage over the summer? Because we haven't even had you through Zoom for the past 2 months. But on Facebook, I see there's still a lot of cats.
There is a lot of cats. They haven't stopped. Things for us remain quite busy. We are seeing a bit of an increase in surrenders. Not that it's necessarily COVID animals, but it's more about people being in difficult places that they perhaps weren't before things changed in the world. We are seeing a lot more calls with people struggling with the expense of owning a pet, and we're seeing a lot more people who are struggling to maintain their homes and their families, unfortunately. The good news is a lot of people are being assisted through referrals to low-cost spay-neuter clinics, low-cost vet clinics. A lot of those things we're handling over the phone, which we're glad to be able to do that. And if you're one of those people who are struggling, call us. We can help you. We can provide you with some support. And get you in the right direction where you may not have to give them up.
Yeah.
But on that note, adoptions have slowed a tiny little bit. Same sort of reasoning. People are financially struggling, perhaps, and at the same time, they're not sure where they're going to be in 6 months. And the bottom line is, we don't want you to make a decision if you don't know where you're going to be.
Yep.
So adoptions have dropped. I mean, in the middle of that pandemic, everybody wanted a pet. We couldn't keep a pet. Not saying that that wasn't necessarily entirely a bad thing. I mean, it certainly helped us a little bit, but we're hoping that those people have still got them and that things are going well that way. Yeah. But I mean, we're still busy. We are still not allowing tours of the building. We're not allowing people to just wander through. If you've been in the shelter, it's a very small enclosed space. We can't social distance, that's number one. But to be honest, we're finding adoptions are better. People are taking the time before their visit to the shelter to talk about the pets. We're getting more time to be able to match the right pet to the right owner. And it's working better. Since the world fell apart a few years ago, we've only had a few returns, which is huge.
Yeah.
Considering the amount of animals that went through, we've only had a few returns, and those returns were for genuine reasons, right? Where somebody was allergic, or the animal didn't like somebody in the house, or what have you. So it has bettered things. We're still, of course, taking appointments. We're still busy all day, every day. We just do those things with a little more planning, and people meet out in the parking lot or in the cattery, and we can spend more time with them that way, to be honest. When you get 5 or 6 people in the building and you're trying to talk to everybody, things get a little scattered. It makes way more sense to make an appointment and sit down and have a conversation. So people are getting better care, the animals are getting better care, and the homes are better. Exactly. So we're hoping to kind of keep that as long as we can, if maybe forever.
Yep.
Right.
I know that this show doesn't air until next week. You have a rabies clinic on the 9th?
The 10th.
10th, sorry, on the 10th. When will your next one be? And are you seeing, because I've actually looked into it for Charlie, and I've, vets, the lack of vet care in the area, all over the place
Everywhere.
Apparently. Yeah,
It's
what is
everywhere.
happening?
A combination of things. Staffing issues, like everywhere else, they're short-staffed. Additionally, they went through a period of time in which they had lockdowns, and so they had to reduce clients. They had to shuffle appointments, do only essential services, just like the rest of the world did. And unfortunately, they're still catching up. On top of that, they are having a hard time scheduling as well. Again, they're trying to keep people out of the building as much as possible. And it is very challenging for people to get care. When I mentioned a few seconds ago about calling us for redirection, if you've missed my rabies clinic, there are others coming up. Contact me and we can direct you to how to find those as well. Rabies is an important vaccine. You can die from it, so can your pet. Super important to get it done. And the low-cost rabies vaccines gives you an opportunity to do that at cost, which you cannot do at your veterinarian.
Oh, there. Oh, so there. So there. I don't think he wants a rabies
I'm sorry.
shot. Yeah.
You've had yours already. You've had yours already. You have. It's okay. You're off the hook for another year. Yeah, you've had it already.
Oh my goodness,
That's
Rocky.
what he thinks of that idea.
Yes.
And
Well.
now the world knows you're a beagle.
Yeah.
Right? That was that
Well.
thing. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah. Well, thanks to Rocky and Renee back on our first episode back in studio of Great County Life. We are so glad that you came to spend some time with us. We hope you'll be back next week, and we'll have some more people lined up and another guest with Miss Renee for Adorable Adoptables.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Sometimes, for a wish to come true, it takes a kingdom, because together is stronger. Tied tight, united we stand, in honor of one child's wish, to fuel the fire that will grant many more. Join the kingdom.
The law states a boater must carry up-to-date charts in the largest scale available for the body of water on which they are boating.